And you're good to go.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is a Public Works Committee meeting. It's Tuesday, February 27th, 2024 at 2:33 p.m. We are conducting this meeting remote, and present today we have Councilman Randy Allison, we have Scott Livermore, we have Bill Scott, our city engineer, Janice Frank, our city clerk, and I'm assuming we'll see, there's the mayor. The mayor will be on the phone. Other than that, there are, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items on the agenda today. First item on the agenda is resolution authorizing the purchase of a Kabuto 5 series toolcat. Scott Livermore, you are up.
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah, what you have before you is resolution to authorize the purchase of a Kubota V-Series toolcat. What this is pretty much a UTV side-by-side utility vehicle that we don't have here. We use one, we borrow one from the parking authority, and that is getting pretty old. So I made the decision last year before budget to put one in my budget, which was approved last year's budget. Basically, like I said, it's a side by side. We are purchasing it from C.H. Waltz Sons for $37,111.30. And it is being funded by ARPA. Are there any questions?
Randy? Any questions?
Yeah, no, I don't actually. I mean, this was this in the capital?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I thought I remembered.
Yeah, it was in
yeah.
capital, and then we switched. I know some big bunches of switches with purchases for big equipment.
Right.
Put over in the ARPA.
Yeah.
I guess I can add to it a little bit. What this machine will do for us is, obviously I'm getting a plow for it, which will take care of our levees, walking trails, sidewalks downtown. It has a sprayer, which we spray all the parks and levee stuff that needs sprayed on the levee system. It also has, trying to think what I got with it, plow, sprayer, and a spreader box to spread salt on the walking paths of the city. So it's a small vehicle that will also help us with our events and stuff as we go on with the Little League Parade and things of that nature. Something smaller to maneuver around all the barricades if need be, if emergency happens. So
Great.
Any other questions, Randy?
Nope.
Scott, I guess I've seen a piece of equipment that was doing the sidewalks several years ago, but I assume that's probably RVTA's.
Well, it's parking authorities. It's their toolcat version. It was their Bobcat. We borrowed it. We share it. Well, we don't share it. They own it. We just asked for it, and it's seen its better years in life. So, like I said, versus keep trying to fight when we need it, we can't get it when they are using it. So, like I said, we went down I made a decision to put it in this year to purchase one because it was a useful tool that we didn't have that helps us out.
I know they used it quite a bit over the years that I would see them. I mean, it gets into the nooks and crannies that you need.
Yeah, if you guys actually been down by or Penn College, they have identical one that we're going to purchase. They use it for their sidewalks and everything. That you can get all kinds of attachments for them if you need it, but it's the same one that they have. So it's pretty nice.
And it'll probably be easier for the alleys that you do in the wintertime.
There could be some uses for alleys, yes. Yep.
Because some of the alleys are narrow.
Yep.
And you know how people want to get their alleys done, even though we weren't contracted for that.
Yep.
You know how that is. You open the door a crack and it blows itself wide open.
Yep.
Other than that, Randy, no other questions?
Nope.
Go order it, Scott. Okay. Next item on the agenda is resolution. Oh God, I'm having a hard time reading it. Resolution authorizing execution of municipal services agreement between City Commonwealth of PA for maintenance of slopes along Miller's Run. You're up again, Scott.
So you said it all, Bonnie, right there. I ain't gonna have to re-say it. It is our agreement for the Miller's Run that we have with PennDOT. We do this every year. This year's special on that, due to the fact that I talked to PennDOT and we are doing a 10-year deal now with them, so we don't have to do it every year. I think in the packet you guys has from 24 to 2033 and the millennial foot, and the prices, how it changes. It goes up every year. So like I said, this is something we do every year. Nothing has changed as far as what we do. We go out and maintain what we have to through that section. It's just something that so we don't have to continue to remember to get it taken care of. So it'll be good for 10 years.
Okay, it's better than coming back all the time for this. The only statement I have to make is, on page 6 on the contract, the provider, you still have you have City Hall's address, 245 West 4th Street.
Yeah, you're right.
And, that has to be changed if we're not going to be using that right now. There's several things that still come down with that address on it. And I've heard that with the mail person.
I will make a note. Okay.
And this has been an ongoing contract that we've had with them for umpteen years. I mean, it's something I think we all appreciate.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Randy, do you have any questions? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you first.
No, that's okay. Yeah, there are increases. I mean, they're pretty incremental.
Right.
So you think we're safe with that? Does the cost?
It's yeah, for what we have to do there, it's mainly, in there where we have to clean the debris and stuff. That's very minimal. That's if any trees are there.
Right.
We obviously mow it, and it's not a whole lot of work to mow. It's a short stretch.
Yeah.
You see in the diagram. So yeah, it's not a whole lot over the amount of the next 10 years, but in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't cost a whole lot to maintain.
Okay.
So.
And how many workers do we assign to that? Is it 3?
It's the 2. It's our 2 flood control.
Just the 2. Okay.
Yeah, they just, when they come down our flood control down through here, they jump over and hit that as well. It's only 1,500 feet.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. Those are the only questions I had.
Okay. I don't have any other questions either. Scott, I thank you very much. Okay, next item on the agenda is God damn, Randy, I'm having a hard time reading this one.
It's a resolution authorizing a statewide local share assessment grant through the Commonwealth Financing Authority and designating the mayor and finance director as officials to execute all the documents.
Thank you, Randy.
That's a mouthful.
I know.
Yeah.
And let's see, this is the mayor. Okay,
good
Mayor, how
afternoon,
you doing
Councilwoman
today?
Kat.
How you doing? Are you there, Mayor?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. I was muted.
You're
Sorry
doing a
about that.
phone commercial now, right? Can you hear me?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Councilwoman Katz and Councilman Allison. Yes, what you have before you this is our standard resolutions that's included, with these grants that require them. This is an LSA grant. This is highly competitive because this is one of the state grants that does not have a match component to it. So they get, obviously a ton of applications, and there's not a lot of money to give out. But we, of course, apply each year because it makes sense. So that's what this is. There's no cost to the city. This is just a resolution that has to be required as part of the application. And so that's what this resolution is.
Hey, Randy, do you have any questions?
No, I don't. Although a statewide local share, so do we
That's
put some money in?
DCED.
Okay.
No, that's funded with, don't quote me, I could double check. I think it's the gaming funds
It
Oh,
is.
that help to fund this.
It's casino
Yeah, I
money.
believe so. I'm not, that's what I thought so. Yeah, it's the casino money, yeah. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, then. We'll
Great.
roll the dice on this one then.
Oh, good one, Randy.
Yeah.
I never realized that we would get a share of that. I mean, that's terrific.
Yeah, well, it is great, but it's extremely competitive grant program. But yes, they do allocate money from the gaming, yep, for these grants.
Yeah, because I really didn't understand that thoroughly. That's fantastic. Okay. Randy, any other questions?
No, I don't.
All right. This has been
Well,
fantastic.
Council, I have a question. The LSA grant, what specific project was that earmarked for? Or were we looking
This
to
is
do?
for the lighting at Brandon Park, the ball
Oh,
field.
okay. Okay.
Yep, we're looking for the lighting, it was the lighting involved in that, because fits right into this program, and it's that's a lot of money. So
It's a lot of money. Mayor, it says for Lycoming College baseball field lighting and installation.
Yep.
Didn't
Yep.
they go after the funding for that, or is this we're using?
no, they have not yet. We're exploring. Well, we're going for this grant opportunity because there's no local match.
Right, right.
If we're not successful here, we are discussing other options that are available, including congressionally directed spending. So we've discussed with Congressman Muser's office different projects that could qualify. So we are exploring other, if we're not successful with this one. This would be the best one, obviously, because it wouldn't cost us any money. But we're exploring other options as well.
And this would also maybe encompass our new grant writer going after things like this and keeping track of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Valerie is aware of this one. Yep. She's the one who's handling, working with Teresa and Delta on this one. And it's and then including this as application, but Valerie is actually off to it's been extremely helpful having her on board, to say the least. I'm sure Bill and Scott and others can attest to that as well. But Valerie's been with us for about a month now. And it is, I can't overstate how valuable she has been.
Well, I've often said a good grant writer is worth their weight in gold because they have the time, the intelligence, and the background, and the biggest thing is connections. And it's so vitally important. Like you said, everybody goes after these grants. It's the person that it's who you know and how you can do it correctly. So I was happy about that. I know some people weren't, but to me, I think this good grant writer is going to save us a ton of money.
Yeah, and she'll, like you said, Councilwoman, she'll, the position will pay for itself and then some.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm with you on that. It's, and I think everyone, the last month or so, like I said, can definitely appreciate just the amount of time that she's saving them now that we have an in-house person to handle all of this that employees were otherwise handling. Now they can, for the police grant, for example, they can go back now and don't have to spend time with grant oversight. Valerie can handle all that, applications, compliance, etc. And so it's a huge help to have her on board.
Well, and we know the grants are time sensitive in so many different areas. And if you're not on top of that, you can lose the grant and also get fined if it's not done correctly. So
right. And there are so many grants out there, to your point that you said earlier, that we don't we don't always have the time day in and day out to go out and look for and search. But now having a person that's what they do day in and day out, because there's so much out there. So it's I completely agree. It has been fantastic, and I think it's going to pay huge dividends to the city.
I do too. Randy, do you have any other questions?
No, I do not.
Okie dokie, we'll go to the next item, which is you, Mayor, also. Okay, resolution authorizing execution of Bowman Field rental agreement. You're up, Mayor.
Yep. So, good afternoon again. So this is what we do each year, heading into, the college and cross-cutter season and high school season. Bowman Field rental agreement, there's been two slight changes to this year's agreement. Last year, we offered a base rental fee and then an enhanced rental fee. We met with, Sean and Scott, myself, and the crosscutters, and it just made sense to do just one fee and include, all of the offerings. So we did that. Logistically, it was easier, and it just made more sense to do it that way. So you won't see the base rental fee and the enhanced. You'll just see the one fee that includes Bowman Field. If you rent Bowman Field, you get Bowman Field. And then secondly, because of that, we increased just slightly the fee. So a single game fee went up $100, as did the continuous doubleheader also went up $100. And so I know we talk each year about that, about doing a slight increase each year, which I think we have done the last few years. Actually, nothing crazy. We still are, relatively speaking, inexpensive compared to some other fields in the region, but nonetheless, we are slowly getting caught up, and without putting a significant increase all at once onto the high schools or whatever the case might be. And so that's the two changes that you'll see in this year's agreement. Nothing significant, but what we thought made sense.
I agree with you thoroughly on this one, Mayor. This is still not covering all of our expenses. I mean, I don't think people understand that to open that field up, it is expensive. We've been kind-hearted and, for the local teams to play there, but at this point, it's getting more and more difficult, especially with all the expenses going up. So, and I don't think $100 for that you're taking on both of these is not that bad. And I agree, we should do it in increments every year. And that be aware of it. Now, to me, I would like to make sure we don't get greedy. And that's the one thing, we don't want to lose the local talents. I mean, let's face it, everybody would love to play on that field. I mean, when you touch that grass, it's incredible. It's, and to say that you played on that field, it's, is an honor. To me, it's an honor. And, and let's face it, it's costing us money to maintain that field at times also. So, even though MLB has the gentleman that takes care of it, it's still money going out, and we do have to be careful that we don't get screwed in the end. Okay, so I do agree with this, and that was going to be my question: what happened to the second level? And now that you explained it, because when I was reading further and saw what you were getting for everything, that is the whole package. And it would be difficult.
You get everything in.
Yeah, it would be difficult.
And honestly, it was, and most people used everything anyway. So it just made sense just to go to one flat fee, because that's generally what people did anyway. So
exactly, you have a kid that's playing ball on that field, to see their picture up on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
When their name is announced, that's pride.
Right.
So, Randy, do you have any questions?
Yep.
No, not really. We haven't had any concerts there or anything like that. Although it's in the agreement, as a possibility. If there was a concert event, would the head groundskeeper be involved with that as far as their setup and all of that kind of thing?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. So, depending on obviously the type of concert, how much space they would need, would they be using
Right.
just the infield, outfield, either way, or would it just be outside of, Bowman Field? Would they not need
Right.
the actual
Okay.
field at all? But, so if it was inside the stadium, absolutely. As you said, since I've been here, we've not had a request like that.
Right.
But Cam, the head groundskeeper,
Mhm.
he's what makes the call. So like if it's raining or, whatever the case, he gets to make the call since he's there day in, day out, and knows the field backwards and forwards. So yeah, if there was, they would submit whatever their needs would be. And if it's inside, Cam would absolutely be involved in that process.
Okay.
Now, if they
that's
just wanted to do, if they do something in the parking lot outside, then that's different, of course. So
Right.
that would just be a regular event, permit and stuff. So.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Mayor, I do have a question. I do know that people on the Bowen Field Commission don't feel like they're participating in anything that they should be. And you're hearing this from other commissions and other, committees. What is your thoughts on these committees that we have that A, they're not meeting, B, they're volunteering, and it's finding volunteers is very difficult, and to not make them feel that they're worth what they're into. To me, I don't know what we should do with this at this point.
Yeah, and I think Randy was there when we met with the Bowman Field Commission last time, and I know this came up because, I don't know the full history of the Bowman Field Commission, but they said the same thing. There's rarely ever anything to meet about, and could it be utilized? Could we combine committees, so to speak? Like, could the Rec Commission and Bowman Field combine together, for example? And I'm open to that idea, and if council has ideas, I'm obviously open to those. But there are, there's some that meet all the time or regularly, and then there's some, to your point, that hardly ever meet. And so I'm happy we can review those and see, legally, if, what we need to do, if we want to combine some, if that makes sense, or, however we want to look at that. But I agree, there definitely are some that that were created over the years, and for one reason or another, at this point, they either hardly ever meet or some, quite frankly, never meet. So I'm happy to look at that and explore that with City Council and discuss, what we want, like different committees and commissions, and the ones that don't really meet or never meet, what we think moving forward would be the best options.
I can tell you this because I was the council rep for Bowen Field, and the only thing that ever was discussed and had an agenda on was the games, what dates for the games, and were they, interfering with anything, and they also were involved in the permit fees also. But other than that, especially things changed when MLB came in. Okay.
Right.
Because of them, with their rules and regulations, and going to them first before, anything can be done, where before it came to the committee and commission, and also the rec department. I mean, Sean is involved with rec, but he was very much involved, the rec director was also very much involved in Bowman Field. So combining those two really makes perfect sense to me. It really does. And they might have.
That's something I can. Yeah. We could talk to Austin and see legally how we could. Again, if council thinks that makes sense, and I don't know the legally off the top of my head, we can talk to Austin to see, about just combining them since they only meet once a year, if that. So
Mhm.
I agree
Believe it or
to,
not, they were
to
meeting monthly.
maximize.
Yeah, they were meeting monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah, at one point. And
No, I'm talking about like nowadays, since it's
oh,
like you said,
nowadays,
since
my God, they're
MLB
not
and
meeting
stuff
at
is
all.
sort of, yeah, it's sort of like you said, MLB sort of switched it up, and there's, yeah, it's just it's different. Things
It is.
changed,
It's
and
much
so
different.
we can look at it. Yeah, right.
But I just,
So-
I wanted to, talk to you about this because as well as I do, there are people that are on these committees that they love their city, they love being involved in some way, shape, or form, and you don't want to lose that. I mean, maybe there are other
Right.
areas that can be done because let's face it,
Yeah.
we're not getting volunteers like we used to. And it's
I'm pretty sure. I was going to say, Randy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we did discuss that, didn't we, whenever that was, when we met there last
Yeah,
spring,
we-
summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this came up, and
Yeah,
we're
that
looking
they-
at ways to.
Yeah, so I agree. I think it's time.
I don't remember the exact conversation, but I know it was around, combining or looking at a different setup.
Yes, yeah. And I think everything, the whole structure of Bowman Field has changed, as well as maybe some of the other commissions as well. So like recreation I like that idea, but yeah, we should talk about it. Have the discussion with
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
like it, and I think that makes sense.
yeah, it really does. So we can work on this then. We'll bring it up to Adam and see what council, can get together a new mayor, and it's like,
Yep.
but we do
Yep.
have to find out where we stand legally. I don't
Hmm.
think any of us realize we're
Yeah.
just if it can be done or how. Because I don't
Yep.
think any of us really
Yep.
know how these commissions came about to begin with.
Yeah, I'm assuming that
They're probably just created over the years by council
Yes.
administration,
yeah,
and
other than
yeah, and then
I think the two that are separate, I would say, would be Ways Garden and Brandon Park, because they were
right. I would agree with that.
deeded to the city with
And they
we-
both meet regularly.
in what?
And they both meet regularly.
Yeah,
They both meet regularly. So,
exactly.
yeah. They're very, they
But
function, they are, yeah, they function well.
Yeah.
Okay, it gives us
But
something
I
to.
agree on the other ones. Yeah, no, thank you, Councilwoman Katz, for bringing that up. It makes a lot of sense.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, the fifth item on the agenda is any related items. I guess we jumped the gun on that one, didn't? I'm sorry, guys.
Well, we got one more to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait.
Construction resolution awarding construction services for the Brandon Park band shell rehabilitation project to Lundy Construction.
Oh, I didn't have that and I didn't look it up on the computer. Thank you, Randy.
Mhm.
Okay, Bill
Yeah,
Scott, you're up.
Yep, I'll talk a little bit about this. Good afternoon, Councilwoman Katz, Councilman Allison, and Mayor Slaughter. So you guys are probably a lot more aware of this than I am. I know it's been ongoing for a while, it sounds like.
A
Trying to get
long
this
time.
off the ground, yeah. Bids were actually opened in May of last year, and
Mhm.
not sure for what all reasons, nothing ever become of it. But there's multiple grant sources in this. I think there's CDBG, ARPA, and the county is also committing some Act 13 funds. And I think due to some grant deadlines, namely CDBG, we need to do something or lose funds. So I think that's pushing it.
Right.
So we approached Lundy Construction. I spoke with Frank Lundy. The bid was so old, he still very much wants to do the project. And I mean, you guys know they're a local reputable contractor, and I think it'd be a win-win for the city if they
Mhm.
get the opportunity to do this, and they do want to do it. And they're, the weather is breaking as we sit here and speak, and they would like to get started, hopefully when the weather does break. And it'd take up most of summer, I'm sure, to get this done, but we're looking to actually get it built this year.
That would be great. Do we have the
Um,
funding all set up for this?
Yeah, maybe Scott and the mayor can say a little bit more about the funding.
I think it was rejected. We didn't go further because I think the bids were over what we budgeted.
Yeah,
Is that-
we were over, Bonnie. But like Bill's captured there, we have CD money, foundation, county, and then ARPA, and then some Act 13 to fully fund this. Me and Mayor sat down, ran some numbers, agreed on some things, and we end up coming up with enough to get this project off the ground so we don't lose these CD funds.
Right. Well, yeah, we need to get this done. It's been years now, so.
The amount is $567,900 would be the bid amount.
Bill, does that take care of the bathrooms?
There are bathroom upgrades involved with this, yes.
And everything will be handicap accessible then made, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
It has to be, not.
yeah.
Yeah, Bill, I think there's an elevator in there, right?
Is there, I don't know all the specs, but yeah.
I'm
An
pretty sure.
elevator?
And inside to get wheelchairs and any
Really?
inside, yeah.
I was in that place, you don't know how many times working on stuff. I never knew there was an elevator there.
Well, there's not one there. That's in a new.
Oh, okay. You got
That'll
me. I
be
was
new.
like, my God,
Yeah.
something I missed.
Is it a lift or an
It's a
elevator?
lift. Yeah, it's a lift. It's inside. I don't know if it's elevator per se, like Bowman Field.
Yeah.
There, but it is a lift to get ADA
Right.
accessibility to the stage.
Yep.
Would we be able to see the plans for this at all? And also the money that's budgeted?
Right.
Since this happened so long ago, I don't even know if we have that, to go back on. Bill, can you send that to us?
Yeah, I have the plans, and Scott and I can probably come up with a sheet of the funding amounts.
Right.
Okay. Because I mean, if we're going to approve this, we really should, have a final figure amount of where we're at, especially when it comes to council on Thursday. Okay,
Yeah, we'll get that.
okay, fantastic. No, it's Our Lady that's so beautiful in that park. We do have to do something. We can't put it off. I mean, and once it's done, there's more things that we could possibly do in there at this point also. I mean, that used to be rented quite often over the years, where for different shows and things like that. I mean, the sound system was in there, and is that in the plans at all, Scott? Do you know?
Sound system?
Yeah. There was a sound system in there, in the one closet.
I don't know if there's upgrades for that. I mean, I can take a look and we can have that answer for you Thursday night.
Yeah, not sure.
But I'm not 100% sure yet.
Because that could be another selling point, but when you stop and think about it, most people have their own sound systems, and never mind. That's
Yeah.
another story. That would be a huge expense. It really
Yeah.
would. So, let's take that off the table, because it would, especially everything that you would need, because I mean, it's so incredible when you stand in the back of that, you literally can hear everything that's being said all over. I mean, it's really fascinating if you want to eavesdrop on people's conversations. But no, it was fascinating. It's fascinating. The history is incredible. So I'm happy that this is going to go on. If you can get the information to us for Thursday, really appreciate it.
Yep.
Anything else, guys? Anything else, Bill?
No, there's probably lots, but
God love you. You've been thrown into, my goodness, I don't even know how many irons are in that fire there.
yeah. It's
I mean,
all
you've
good.
got
It's all
Levy,
good.
you've got streets, you've got
Yep.
Brandon Park. Oh my goodness, yes, you've got a lot of stuff on your plate. So, and thank you very much. We do appreciate it.
Mhm.
And I think Scott is kind of happy too that he has somebody to commiserate with.
Yeah.
So, but if there's nothing else, Randy, do you have any related items?
No, I don't have anything.
Either do I. And I guess Scott, Bill, neither do you have anything that you want to discuss?
Nothing on my end.
Okay, fantastic.
Yep.
Well, look at guys, we will see you Thursday night. And thank you
Okay.
very much. I need a
Thank you.
motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Take care, guys. See you Thursday.
See you guys.
Thank you.